Get longer, correct? No? This, however, is getting longer. So if this doesn't want to get longer, can I make this at least match that? No? I don't have to, it's fine, I'm just asking you a question. Okay, no. So then that would be the conversation and we would leave it. At least then we've recognized that this is what happens, that this side breaks off and this side doesn't. So she's holding on to this when, for me as a hairdresser, I would make this match that.
No,
so,
you don't try to convince them.
What do you mean try to convince them? I just told her what I thought.
Yeah.
I think this should go so it matches up so it looks like you have a complete haircut. Now, if she goes no, then that's my job. I told her, it's just like this. If I go to my... Make sense? So this, I can see that this is a little longer than that, and I'm sure that's what you wanted. Okay, great. And you're growing it out. Good. So I can also see that maybe there's some weight in places, or maybe there's more density in places, but let's be clear. So we put the head forward, and now we can really see the difference in length. Right? Even though we saw it before, because it's strong, we see it clearly.
Yeah, her hair's sticking straight.
It's not painful, right? There's some wave there. But, okay, so her hair here, right? I can see a couple things that for me don't quite make sense, right? I can see that there's a bit of a ledge there. I can see that this is shorter than that, right? Can you guys see that as well? And maybe she's noticed it and maybe she hasn't. I don't know, right? But again, it would be a conversation, but before it's a conversation, I want to be clear. So here's the weight, and here's the length. You guys see it, right? So then the conversation would be, have you noticed that one side is heavier and one side is longer, or no? Okay, cool. So, would you, if you were my client, want this to be lighter or this, or would you want to keep it exactly the same? Okay, so she would like it lighter. So then we would go and do that. Does that make sense? And then that's the conversation. Cool? And can you guys see what I'm talking about? And again, for me as a hairdresser, I don't get it. Does that make sense? Like I don't get that. I just don't get it. So that's me letting her know I don't understand. And if I don't get it, then it needs to go unless she wants to keep it. Okay guys, grab the tape around. Let's see it actually happen. So here's the tape. There's that and then this. And here I can start to soften some of that up, right? And then maybe even get rid of some of that length. So you see I'm working, cutting down softly. And that as that continues to work, then this starts to get a little better, right? Not as much of a ledge. So let's see what happens as this starts to come up. Now this becomes a little lighter, right? And then as we look at this, we can continue to start to work. Now again, her wave is very distracting. Right? So, as we work with that, I'm just gonna smooth it out a little bit with an iron so you guys can see that. Is it turned on? Great. Okay, so let's just do this really fast. Come on over here so we can see it more clearly. Just like that, you're fine. Alright, so do whatever I need to do. Right? And that means that I can continue to work however I choose to work. Now, we're not actually talking about fixing this. We're not talking about making this so it's whatever it needs to be. We're just talking about putting it into general shape. Right? Thank you. So with that... hair, there's a difference between growing out length and weight, right? So there doesn't need to be a grow out phase, because you can just keep texturizing it so that it doesn't get big and puffy, if that's what they're challenging. Created by us is a misnomer. It's not true. And it really comes from a lot of years of not knowing how to use product. Working my way out, right? All the way in, right? Vertically through, vertically through. So I just did this one middle section here. And then instead of moving, boop. See that? She comes over. So my body position doesn't change. And again, I'm working beneath my finger. Collapsed. It's condensed now. Right? So as I continue to work through here, working my way up and through, softly. Good. So now as I look at this, I feel significantly better about what's happening here than here. And all this is a weight store.